Our coffee, cake, and camo podcast would not be possible without the support of our awesome partners. Thank you, Humana, for being a force behind the forces.
Welcome, everyone, to Coffee, Cake, and Camo. I'm Erica, and this podcast is brought to you by the USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia. Just search for the handle at USOHRCV and find us at hrcv.uso.org.
And I'm Chelsea, and before we get started, we want to take a second now to thank a very special sponsor of the USO. Without their support, as always, we could not bring you this podcast or work to fulfill our super important mission. And that sponsor today is Humana Military. We love you. Welcome to the USO family.
Yes, thank you, Humana. And in case any of our listeners are new to Coffee, Cake, and Camo or to the USO, the mission of the USO is to strengthen America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation.
That's right. Yeah. And here at HRCV, we do that in a variety of ways. Our followers all know this. And we most recently hosted our Spooky Good Times event, which we've been talking about for a while. And, of course, the unpredictable rain, gotta love, random tropical storms coming through, prevented us from holding our second day. But we did have Saturday, and Saturday's event was so much fun. It was amazing to see military families come out and participate in the healthy activities that we had planned. I don't know about you, Erica, but I loved seeing the little kids dressed up and on the rowing machines and the spin bikes. It was so cute. There was this one little girl she was in a half mermaid, half princess costume, and she couldn't have been more than 4 years old. And she's trying to row, and she had her dad in a butterfly costume trying to help. I was dying. It was so cute.
Oh, we love supportive dads in butterfly costumes. My dad's not the type of dad to dress in butterfly costumes, but he was always there to help me trick or treat. So that's,
that's what matters.
So, he checked the mark there. But, I was kind of sad that I wasn't able to see Saturday's event go on, and Sunday, guys, it just comes with having outdoor events. The weather is always going to be a thing. But regardless, we are really happy that we could do this for service members, giving them the opportunity to just go out there and celebrate Halloween with everything going on and stuff. But we did have over 300 registered service members and their families participate in the 4 events on Saturday. So those events were the Monster Mash, which looked pretty intense, the 1K Fun Run, the Zombie 3K, which Chelsea and I have been talking about for ever, and Loga with Jackie Chirac with Solidarity of Sisters. And that looked pretty amazing.
Oh my God, it was amazing. The Monster Mash was so intense. I'm really glad I'm working this and not running it. But yeah, but yeah, I've got to figure out registering for it next year. Some of the events, there were so many cute costumes. Like I said, during the 1K Fun Run, it was adorable. All the kids with their parents, so precious. And the zombie run was so funny. We had some awesome volunteers who really got into their zombie roles. So it was amazing.
I feel like we could have been better zombies. I don't know how great those zombies were, but I mean, they couldn't have been as cool as us. Come on.
I got to tell you, they were better, Erica. We thought we were going to be the best. They were the best zombie. It was awesome. But yeah, did you actually end up dressing up for Halloween? Because I did.
Yeah. Well, Halloween is my steez. It's my thing. I love dressing up. I was Venom from, famously known for being Spider-Man's arch nemesis.
Yes.
So I didn't have a Venom costume, but one of my good friends who is thebomb.com with makeup. So I had a face mask with really famous ugly Venom teeth. And it was old school Venom though. And she kind of drew my eyes super scary, and it was the best. And it was a lot of fun. I wasn't able to, go trick or treating because I'm too old to trick or treat. I know I don't look it.
You're an adult, Erica.
All right. I was sometimes I forget. But yeah, I mean, it's just the spirit of Halloween, being able to dress up.
Yeah, so I super appreciate that costume. I definitely love Venom. I mean, who doesn't? I actually I'm not really that familiar with Venom, but I watched the new movie, and I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, so now I'm a fan. So I appreciate that costume, Erica. But I didn't get in the spirit, with not being able to go anywhere. I just said, hey, everything else in 2020, I'm calling it a wash, and I'll just celebrate Halloween next year. But we actually, I did get some trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood, but significantly few. So I actually brought all my left to the office so we can give it away to service members. Yeah. But yeah, the lower numbers of trick-or-treaters kind of showed that parents are still, they're being respectful of the COVID guidelines and restrictions. And but hey, that's why we're here. The USO is going to continue to offer our programs in an adapted, socially distanced fashion to keep our service members safe at all of our events.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you still had trick-or-treaters. I usually get a lot of trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood, but like you said, it's significantly less this year. And I know that we all wish that COVID was over, but that doesn't stop our mission, of course. And it also doesn't put a damper in our events. So I actually was able to join in on the Washington Football Salute touching base tour. So the Washington football team has like a military outreach, Washington Football Salute, and they rolled through our region on Monday, just making stops at USO Fort Eustis, our Langley Air Force Base Center, and then ending at Norfolk Naval Station. And that was just super amazing. One, because I love mission delivery, and it's not technically mission delivery, but in a way we are still distributing these awesome gifts, these appreciation packages to our service members, especially those that have been working throughout the pandemic. And man, I want to say, even though a lot of service members in this area, I mean, we live in a weird part of Virginia where it's like no one has one loyalty to whatever football team. But yeah, even though they were fans of like other teams, they were so appreciative of everything Washington Salute did, just stopping by and giving out these gifts. I mean, it was such a joy to like be a part of it. And they really appreciated it. It had like a face mask, a gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings, and like a postcard to show their appreciation. So I'm just really happy that we could put a smile on their faces just by doing that.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. I'm actually super bummed that I had to miss that one, but it is what it is. Well, another thing that we've been doing, last week, we held HRCV's first virtual special delivery baby shower with our special guest, Heidi Murkoff. And, she wrote the What to Expect When You're Expecting books. She's awesome. And moms and moms-to-be were so appreciative of the virtual setting. And, it just proves that with a little creativity, we can still deliver our mission. We've been doing it, and we're going to keep families connected and supported.
Absolutely. That was my first virtual baby shower, but I mean, still the spark and the excitement of the event was definitely still there. Heidi Murkoff is amazing, and we at the USO definitely appreciate her. In addition to that, I mean, for the holidays, we have some really cool upcoming events for service members and their families to look forward to. So we do have Cookies and Cocos with Santa. We have that every year. You guys know what a blast that is. So when that does come out, just be sure that you register. And Operation Holiday Spirit in December. So, of course, more details are to come. Be on the lookout on our social media, and just make sure that you register to participate.
For sure. These events have become like a staple in our community over the last few years. So we want to see everybody out there. It's going to look different this year, but it's still going to be great. This is super important. If you register, please follow through. Come to the event or reach out to us if anything changes. We understand things happen, especially during COVID, though. All of our events have limited capacity because we have to maintain CDC guidelines. So, when people register but don't show up, it means that other families who wanted to join were not able to. And we don't want that. So please let us know if you can't make it.
So in addition to all these really exciting holiday events coming up, we also have a virtual 5K coming up, which will also support our troops. And you guys have probably seen it on social media, but it is our USO Trot for the troops. So make a team, sign up by November 16th. The walk starts on November 21st. Once you sign up, it'll have all the info, and we'll definitely drop a link to this episode. But sign up, make a team. You'll get some really cool swag. I think it includes like a finisher's medal, a t-shirt, and other really great things so that you can participate in a 5K, walk with your friends, socially distance, of course, and your family. But it's really exciting. I signed up, and I signed up like a couple of my cousins, and all of that money, of course, goes back to support our service members and keep them connected to family, home, and country. So I just wanted to plug that in because I hope that you guys are just as excited as I am. And it's a virtual event that really anyone can participate in. Coming up next week, Chelsea, is also Veterans Day. And while, of course, I'm excited to have that day off, I think it's really important that people understand the history and the meaning behind Veterans Day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't. I mean, it's a national holiday, which means it signifies an important event in our country's history and that significant event. And some people may think that this is obvious, but truly some people don't know. It is in celebration of when war action ceased during World War I.
I'm not the biggest history junkie, but I think when it comes to knowing our country's history specifically and the meaning behind like great days like Veterans Day and why we have the day off, it's really important. But World War I was originally known as the Great War, and Veterans Day was originally deemed as Armistice Day since November 11th, 1918. when opposing sides of the Great War agreed to a truce to stop fighting, known as armistice. And after World War II broke out and they finally ended, Congress changed the legislation in 1954, marking November 11th as Veterans Day, honoring American veterans of all wars.
That's right, honoring our brave veterans of all wars. And, Congress stated early on during the creation of the holiday that it be also designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between nations. So really, wherever you are, whether you're working or not, just take a moment on the 11th day of the 11th month to remember the military men and women, past and present, who have served our country in the military. It's very important.
Exactly. It's a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, their love for their country, and their willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good.
Yeah, this is a great little history lesson today, Erica. But I learned something and I enjoyed the refresh of information. But also this coming week, we're honoring our Marine Corps, who is celebrating their, get this, 245th birthday on November 10th. So yay to all the Marines. It's funny. I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina recently. I was visiting our center down there, which, a little side note of history, is the oldest continually serving USO center in the world. So shout out to Jacksonville. We love you. And I got to meet a ton of retired Marines, and it was just a blast. So yeah, we love our Marines. We may be mostly a Navy town, but we love all of our branches.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Marines.
I decided when I found out that it was their 245th birthday coming up, I decided to do a little research on where URA originated, and I discovered some fun facts on the Marine Corps website.
What'd you learn, Chelsea? Let's hear it.
All right. Okay, this is very cool. So basically the origins date back to Marines that were stationed in Korea in 1953 who were traveling by submarine. And whenever the troops would call out using their intercom and klaxon alarm, it sounded like Aruga, like Aruga.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never would have known. But that sound, I guess, combined with their intercom and submarine became a common call for the Marines as they would, announce a sub diving underwater. So eventually the Marines started saying Aruga during runs and training as like a motivational tool. And soon it got shortened to URA.
Okay, that makes sense because I really can't. I feel like Aruga is just a lot when you're running. Like you might not sound very powerful while doing
it's like guttural. It's like a guttural noise. It's not easy to when you're like heaving and huffing and puffing, but URA makes a lot more sense. I mean, I'm not going to test it out,
right?
But it's cool how traditions are, made like that. I don't know. It's a little piece of history carried through almost 50 years in the form of a phrase, and now it's like what the Marines are known for.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I did not know that. So there's a reason behind everything, folks, or a story, I should say. Yeah, I definitely learned something new today about Veterans Day and a piece of Marine Corps history, and we hope that you guys did too at home.
Yeah, I love a good history episode, but that is all the time that we have today. So thank you everyone for joining us on Coffee, Cake, and Camo. It's on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for the handle at USOHRCV.
And if there's a topic that you would like for us to talk about or just share, just use the hashtag CoffeeCakeCamo.
Yes, and to all of our sponsors, thank you so much for being a force behind the forces. And all of our veterans, thank you. And I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Erica. Stay connected and classy, HRCV.